The distant Tea Party thunder has now arrived, reverberating in the corridors of Congress, and we met a lot of the 87 Republican freshmen. Half of them are from the Tea Party yesterday as we made our way across the Capitol. And we gathered 10 brand new members of Congress together to mark this moment after the fiery rhetoric of the campaign. This is the day they have to start delivering.
Here they are. The Beltway version of a motorcycle gang riding in on a wave of taxpayer and Tea Party discontent. And now it's their turn.
I just want to go around each of you and ask you to give me the one word that best expresses what you felt when you walked in, knowing you were here.
Humility.
Determined.
The imminence of the problems.
Expensive.
You mean as in?
Washington is expensive. It costs the American people a lot of money.
I'd say humility.
But what about Congressman Brooks, who fiercely attacked the former Speaker, Nancy Pelosi?
What is the message to Washington? Fire Pelosi!
What's the first word going to be when you see her?
My first word will be hi. On a personal level, be happy to go out to lunch with her, chat with her, but we're going to fight pretty hard when it comes down to some of the basic beliefs that we have.
And then, you know what? I'm conservative, but I'm not mad about it. I can do it with a smile on my face, and we can have civil discourse, and hopefully...
Senator, there was a sense that everybody had come to storm the place.
I couldn't disagree more. I could not disagree more. The idea behind the Tea Party movement is neither partisan, nor is it angry.
I don't think we're angry, but I do think that the people of the United States have been angry, and for the right reasons. The bottom line is our government hasn't listened.
So what are they going to do on that first really tough vote? Will they actually allow the U.S. to default on its IOUs rather than vote to raise the amount the U.S. can borrow? Their own Speaker, John Boehner, says it's an adult moment and should be raised. The White House economic advisor says raise it or...
The impact on the economy would be catastrophic.
It will be catastrophic? That it will be the first time in history that there will be a default by the United States caused by insanity.
There's got to be a time where you say no, where you say no more. We've got to get our house in order.
But when they're saying it will be catastrophic to say no.
But they present it as a false choice. What about we spend what we take in?
They told us they want to use this vote as leverages for promises to cut in the future. But the Democrats have a challenge for the Republicans, saying if you're going to cut spending, go ahead and start close to home. Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler of Missouri got more than $750,000 in taxpayer subsidies for her farm.
Are you ready to vote against all farm subsidies? That's $20 billion by one estimate at least.
Well, I think everything should be on the table. And yes, there's a lot of us farmers that have participated in the program.
Congressman Stutzman.
Congressman Stutzman of Indiana got more than $100,000.
Yes, I would vote to eliminate farm subsidies. It manipulates the market. And that's the problem here in Washington. The adult conversation, I think, has to be no.
Agree?
I'm ready to just start the discussion and look at it.
Not a yes yet?
I think we need to make sure everything is looked at before we just pick on the farmers.
And on the promise to repeal health care reform, Democrats ask, will they be giving up their new taxpayer-subsidized insurance? Only 2 of them said they would.
First of all, Congress should not be exempt from rules they pass, and that's exactly what happened here. In fact, I ask everybody to denounce that, because we shouldn't be taking that unlike anybody else in regular, everyday America.
I'm not taking the health insurance either.
The rest of you who are not renouncing it, how do you answer this?
There's a big difference between receiving health insurance through one's employer, on the one hand, and on the other hand, establishing a national regulatory program that tells people where to go to the doctor and how to pay for it.
But the taxpayer doesn't have an option but to support it.
Look,
the taxpayer has no choice.
Healthcare regulation is fundamentally a creature of state law. This is a state issue.
We'll let you know later what each of them decides. But for now, they are in total 87 new Americans, ophthalmologists, farmers, pottery store owners, just trying to find their way around a new life and a new town.
My wife and I, we were surprised to discover that to buy a place where you can park your car costs more than our first house. That was remarkable.
Who's going to live in their office?
I'm one of the sleepers.
What do you have, a sleeping bag, a sofa?
No, blow-up mattress. They work out very, very well.
I'm going to be living with my dad here. You know, not sleeping in my office, but living with my dad. So
What's
I'll get
that
to see
gonna be like?
Well, I don't know. We'll see. Most kids, most people are ready to have their kids move out after college. I'm 47 and I'm moving back in.
And everyone coming here said they'd seen that Jimmy Stewart movie about Mr. Smith.
The filibuster.
Jimmy Stewart wins.
How many of you see yourselves still here in 10 years? Really? Really? 2 years?
I don't think it's about us individually. It's about what needs to be changed for the country.
We could pass a balanced budget amendment and term limits. I'll go home next week. I mean, I want some rules in Washington, then I'll go back and be a doctor.
So help you God. Congratulations.
You know, many of us probably yell at our TV in frustration over, you know, what in the world are they thinking back there? And now you have an opportunity to actually have a voice.
No matter what happens, it's the most wonderful country in the world, and office is just a real humbling and a real solemn duty.
And the full conversation will be on abcnews.com.